This is how I saved hundreds buying a brand new Sur Ron X e-bike. All it took was a few Allen head turns and a few minutes on eBay, and we were riding. Now normally when something seems too good to be true, it is. But in this case, I really think we can make this happen. Full Sur Ron X build, cheaper than the Sur Ron X. So we're gonna get started by putting the battery and the controller from the Sur Ron X into this bike and see if it can handle the power. If it can, then I'm almost positive we can do this cheaper than buying a brand new Sur Ron X. But in the next few videos, I'll be going over the exact cost of the parts and the exact amount of money I get from selling the existing parts. So this will probably be a 3-video series. This is stage 1. Let's see if this thing can handle the power of the Sur Ron X. The first step in my project was finding a bike. Now in the States, Luna has exclusive rights to sell the Sur Ron X, but you can get a Segway X160 for a lower cost. They're always in stock, and you get to choose a color, which Luna only sells black ones. So this was a huge plus as well. Now, as you might have guessed, the X160 is cheaper and in stock for a reason. It comes with a much smaller battery, less powerful controller, smaller wheels and tires, softer suspension for a lower rider weight, and single clamp forks. But these are all things that all Sur Ron owners eventually upgrade. So the used market for the Sur Ron X controller, super cheap. Sur Ron X batteries used on eBay. Everyone upgrades their batteries. You can find these crazy cheap. And dual clamp forks, this is one of the first upgrades everyone with the Sur Ron does. So all this stuff you can easily find online used, maybe even locally if you're in a big city. And if you're willing to turn a few Allen keys, it makes the bike cheaper, you get the color you want, and you don't have to wait 2 months. Now the X160 is a really fun bike as is, but it's not quite up to my standards, so I'm gonna get upgrading, and I really feel like this is gonna be a cheap project because this stuff is so easy to sell. The 17-inch wheels go for the street bike version of this, which are all completely sold out online, so I'll probably get a pretty penny for those. The batteries are a huge portion of the cost of the bike, and the controller, I don't know what's gonna happen there, but this bike seriously comes with an empty box padded with the battery warnings ready for you to ship. It's almost like they're asking me to do this. So I'm gonna do it, and if it works out well, hopefully you guys can too. That way you don't have to wait for your Sur Ron pre-orders. And if it goes as well as I think it's going to, save you some money too. And it's not very often in this world that you find something that's a win-win-win. So let's head to the garage and try to make that happen. First up on the chop block is take out the battery, put it in the box that literally came with the setup, then take off the stock controller. And while we're at it, I'm gonna remove the tip over sensor as well, because this thing is more dangerous than it is safe. The controllers look exactly the same. They really might be the same exact thing, just with a different tune. So on the regular Sur Ron X, you just cut this green wire with the black stripe. It's looped in the harness, so it's really easy to get to. And my bike, the X160, does not have that. But I did chase down the wiring harness here, and going into the controller is a green wire with a black stripe in it. So I'm gonna cut that. Worst case scenario, I fry this. Moment of truth. Yeah! All right, that did it. We're getting the first test on the new battery and controller in here. I want to see how it feels before I spend money upgrading the rest of the bike, because maybe I just do the tires and call it good. We'll see how the suspension holds up to the speed of this bike. Man, I've never ridden an e-bike with gearing this low. Because stock, this thing comes with a 58 tooth, and with the 17-inch wheels, it's a way smaller size in diameter overall as well. So the wheeling capability is just awesome. And the hill climbing, it's pretty great. And so far, suspension's handling the abuse. Oh man, I love e-biking. It's just the best. Oh man. I mean, I love gas bikes too, but something about these little things just puts a smile on my face like none other. Yes, this thing with this much speed is ridiculous. I almost feel like I'm on a pocket bike, like a toy with way too much power. They have the same exact brakes as the big bike, so I'm slowing down with plenty of time. Got my tires at like 13. Loving it. I can feel the little rocks and roots touch the bottom of my boots. That's for sure. But again, with the 19s, you'll have the same exact ride height as a regular Surron. Or if you're gonna go 21 in the front, a lot of people do that anyways. I'm slowing down for the big roots more than I would if I had 19s on. That is for sure. But I'm slowing down because of wheel size, not the suspension, so that's gotta count for something. Yes! This thing flies! I don't think I'd be going any faster on the 72 volt right now. This thing's just geared so low. Maybe when I get the 19s, I'll get like a 64 tooth on it and just rip through these trails. Today I'm just going off of this trip, 1.4 miles, 72 max. It's close enough. I couldn't get the app on my phone this morning. I got a new phone, so that'll have to do for now. Let's see if we can't keep up with the gas. So far, so good. Man, the torque on this thing is just unreal. When you have the traction, it's a beast. This trail is also super cool. I've never managed to find this one. See, I've been up here once and it was pouring rain, so I never got to see the view. That is epic. Time to answer the big question, can this little bike hold the power of the Sur Ron X? And yes, it absolutely can. I was hill climbing non-stop at full throttle, no problems. I've since taken it on 3 more rides and the motor takes it like a champ. There's a lot of discussion on the internet if this motor is the same or not, and it probably is. I'm thinking I'm gonna tear it apart and really look into it in a future video. But for now, this can definitely hold the power of the Sur Ron X, which is the whole point of this project. So we're good to go there. So in the next video, I'm gonna sell the wheels. I think I'm gonna get a pretty penny for those. And I'm gonna sell the battery. And then we'll see if this is really worth doing financially. So this episode is my testing saying, hey, is this even possible? Answered that one, yes it is. Next video, is it gonna save you money? That is the big question, and we'll have that coming out here in a couple weeks.